All right, hi Kathy. Thanks for coming on today to do this. As you know, we're about to open up enrollment for the association, and we like to go back to people who have been through, who have joined the association in the past, have been through the program and the materials, and just talk a little bit about why they joined and what they received by joining, and whether or not it was worth it for them. Because as when you first look at the association, you have that decision to make: is it going to be worth it? And so we just like to hear about past member experiences. So thanks again, and yeah, we can just jump right in and ask you, why did you join the association in the first place?
Well, I was nearing the end of my PhD and I felt very scared. I wasn't sure what I should do afterward. And I really had no one to talk to about it. So everybody in my lab, their next steps were postdocs, trying to get their own PI positions, stuff like this. So for me to open up to them and tell them that that's not really what I wanted, I felt like I couldn't do it.
Hmm.
So I needed an outlet, someone else I could talk to, someone who can give me ideas and support and kind
Yes,
of help me in my transition.
absolutely. And so you wanted that extra support, you wanted that help, you wanted to figure out, what it is exactly you had to do to transition into industry. So you joined the
Mhm.
association. Then once you joined, what were some of the, immediate benefits you got right away?
Well, my network grew tenfold just by joining. You meet all of these wonderful people that are in exactly the same situation as you, so you automatically feel like you have this amazing support group behind you,
Hmm.
and that felt amazing. And you learn so many things right off the bat that I mean, as a PhD student, you feel as though you know everything, but when it comes to life in the real world, we realize we don't actually know that much. Um,
Hmm.
so just having the constant feedback from the Facebook group and being able to post questions, no matter how silly they sound in your head, it ended up that 50 people were feeling the same way, and
Hmm.
that was amazing.
Well, that's
Mhm.
great. Yeah, and so you mentioned the private group, and you mentioned that support group being important. What else really impressed you with the private group itself and with the materials? Did anything stick out in particular?
Um, I would say that in particular, it was just advice that I couldn't find anywhere else.
Hmm.
So it was very detailed, practical advice that I could directly grab hold of and have immediate effect. So it was, try and reach out to people on LinkedIn. I can do this. Like, how do
Hmm.
I do that? Here's an email template you can use.
Hmm.
Here's a way to spruce up your resume. Here's a way to present yourself at the next conference you attend. There was always takeaways. There was always specifics. It wasn't a bunch of kind of fluff that really didn't mean anything at the end of the
Sure.
day. It was always something. And the good thing about the Facebook group is that you always felt like they were holding you accountable. So it
Hmm.
was not only here's X, Y, and Z, it was here's X, Y, and Z, and by next week I want you to tell me what you did with it.
Hmm.
And so there was a constant feedback and ownership of all of these rules and guidelines that were being set out for us. And this was fantastic because it wasn't just randomly reading articles online. I actually felt like I was getting things done immediately upon joining the group.
Hmm. No, that's great. And my last question is, so you joined the group, you started working your way through the program, and for you, you were able to make that transition into industry. And so maybe you could just
Mhm.
tell us, what kind of career you transitioned into, and then what particulars, like what were some of those practical examples that you were able to use during your transition process that made you successful.
Mhm. So I've become a publishing editor at the Royal Society of Chemistry here
Yes.
in the UK, which is fantastic. I love the job. I love the people. I love leaving at the end of the day at 5 o'clock. It's a lot of
Yes.
fun. um, yeah. So where do I start? Um, well, first of all, the association helped me completely redo my resume.
Mm.
I mean, if you were to look back at my first resume before I joined the group and the resume that I used to get this position, it's night and day. They're not even comparable. The other thing I learned was not to just hand out resumes whenever I felt like it. It was a very important rule to always have a name on that cover letter before you send in an application. And that's what I did for this job. I had gone to a few networking events where, specifically with a women's association here in Cambridge, where I met a lot of other women scientists. And just through speaking with them and getting to know them better, you know, after a few months, they were like, "Oh, you know what, Kathy? There's this Royal Society of Chemistry, and they have these great jobs opening up. Maybe you should apply."
Yeah.
And it's through talking with people and getting more comfortable with introducing myself and being myself. We always talk about these elevator pitches. I could really get my name out there, and one thing led to another, and I was able to submit my resume to the right person and kind of get that foot in the door.
Excellent.
And then once you do that, the association always provides you with advice in terms of interviews and how to present yourself confidently. And it basically just built from there.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Kathy, for taking some time out to talk about this. I know it'll be very helpful to
Yeah.
other people who are kind of going through the same thing and wondering, is joining going to have some benefit? So, thanks for sharing your story, and wish you continued success in your new career.
Yeah, thank you.